Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie, and I've just had to come on live. I don't know about you. I suspect there's a lot of us out there obsessing with this search for Jay Slater, the 19-year-old who's gone missing in Tenerife. I'm just constantly on the computer, just looking for news, looking to see if he's been found, if there's any different news in the Spanish news. And then I've been looking at the place where he's gone missing, etc. So what I'm going to do in this video is I want to show you, we're going to go on a virtual walk around this area, hiking trail. We're going to look at a couple of different virtual tours of this area, because believe it or not, people actually choose to go and walk around this area of Masca in Tenerife. Anyone who doesn't know what's going on, this boy Jay Slater, he went missing on Monday morning. I just think it's getting increasingly worrying. His mum must be worried sick, his family, his friends must be worried sick about Jay, and things have come out about Jay's past, and maybe he's not like an angel, but doesn't matter, does it? This boy has disappeared, and I think he's in danger, or honestly, I'm starting to lose a bit of hope as every day that goes past, and when I see this terrain of where he's gone missing, you just think, why has he not been found yet? I honestly, when this story started off at the beginning of the week, I really believed he would be found, that he'd just got lost. But every day that passes, it just gets odder and odder, doesn't it? And less and less likely that there's going to be a good resolution. Anyway, let me just say hello to everybody. Thank you for watching. Of course, thanks to all my subscribers, members, etc. Hi, David. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Charlie. Charlie, I don't know if you like I like walking. I don't know about hiking. Hi, Junior. Hi, Ukraine. I like walking in it, but wait till you see this terrain. I can say, hand on my heart, I don't know why people do these walks for pleasure, because apparently even when you go with guides, it's a really difficult terrain. And of course, that'll be making the search difficult, because the searchers have to try and negotiate these awful steep. Anyway, I'm going to show you that. But first of all, I wanted to show you a couple of articles, watch a video, just to remind us of the story, though. I think most of you probably that have come on to watch this, you're probably well aware of the situation. So first of all, something from Sky News. So his mum is living in a living nightmare. You can imagine. So this is a living nightmare hunt for the missing British teenager on Tenerife continues. So we had a look at the location. Tenerife is part of Spain, but it's actually nowhere near Spain. It's nearer to Africa, really. It's one of the Canary Islands, but it does come under, it is Spanish. It is Spain. It comes under Spain, but it's not near the Spanish mainland, which of course is where I am. It's quite, it's more of a sort of desert heat there, if you like. It's more it's different from mainland Spain, and that's where Jay was. Of course, it's a popular holiday destination. He was there at a music festival. It's very popular to Tenerife, isn't it, with holiday makers. It's a famous holiday resort. So helicopters, rescue dogs and drones have continued to scour the holiday island of Tenerife. Now, apparently this location where they're searching, it's quite common for people to go missing. Anyway, so the concerned family and friends endure a living nightmare The hunt for 19-year-old Jay Slater from Oswald Twistle that's in Lancashire in the north of the UK. So we're now in its 5th day. That just looks, honestly, I really am starting to lose hope. But, we shouldn't lose hope completely. Because, of course, the worst thing is he didn't have any water. He had no water. He told his friend on the phone, apparently the last time he spoke to anyone, he had no water, etc. So how is he sustaining himself? I sincerely mean it when I say I think the best hope is that somebody's picked him up and taken him somewhere, or he's in a hospital somewhere. So he was last heard from, I think most of us know the story, but it was last heard from when he called a friend, say he was setting off on an 11-hour walk to get home after he missed his bus. Well, he obviously didn't realise it was 11 hours. I mean, 11 hours in the heat. That was 8 o'clock in the morning roundabout. I mean, how far did he get? What? Anyway. It seems like he's got lost somewhere in this terrain. So this person, Ofelia Medina Hernandez, who was the last person to see Mr. Slater, told Sky News, I saw the boy in the morning at around 8 a.m. He asked me twice what time the bus came. I told him at 10 o'clock. He came back and asked me again, and I told him again at 10 o'clock. After that, he walked off and I didn't see him anymore. So if he was last heard from around about 8 o'clock, what time? Yeah, she said she saw him about 8. So it sounds like it was around about the time that he spoke to his friend. After that, he walked off and I didn't see him anymore. This is just surreal, isn't it? Then she said, later I went in my car and I saw him. He was walking fast, but I didn't see him again after that. So why didn't he just wait for his bus at 10? You know what young people are like, they're impatient, aren't they? What did he think he was, if it was about 8 and the bus, because the buses aren't every 10 minutes like they might be in Manchester, which is probably what he's more used to. There's not many places in Spain but probably Madrid or somewhere like that, where the buses are more regular. Most of these sort of places, probably lucky that you've even got a bus. But at 10, maybe he just didn't want to wait. What did he think? He was going to walk till the next bus stop? Now, don't forget, he'd been partying all weekend, so he probably wasn't, 100% sort of with it. I mean, he had been partying all weekend. I expect he'd not got much sleep. I just can't imagine why he just wouldn't have waited there for the bus to come. There's a coffee bar near there. He could have just gone and had a coffee or something. Anyway, her account came as new photographs showed the property where he was last seen, in the northwestern mountain village of Masca, after attending the Energy music festival. I just think he didn't have any idea maybe of the sort of terrain he was in. Anyway, in a post on the Facebook page, Jay Slater Missing, the official Facebook, I've noticed that the posts have just practically disappeared. They're hardly posting now, so you feel like their energy is sapping, or that they're getting, exhausted by it, or you do feel that. I'll just have a look on the Facebook, but I've been looking, and lately there's nothing being posted. Because then a load of conspiracy theories started as well. So the last post on the Facebook 55 minutes ago from Rach, who's one of the admin. Hi all, so now we aren't posting anything. You've all affected the case. Who's commenting SHIT with your conspiracy theories? So sorry to the people who are concerned, but it's gone too far. And then she's turned off commenting for the post. I mean, the thing is, this particular Facebook group was the family's Facebook group. And, you know, whatever Jay's done in the past or not, well, obviously he had, because he had been convicted of doing a very serious crime. But it doesn't affect the fact he's missing and that a mum is looking for their son. You know, you've got to respect that and just wait until he's found and safe. And then, you know, why do people feel that they have to go on and say these horrible things? I just don't understand it. Just let it go. You know, if you can't say it, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything, isn't it? So they've paused the group. They've paused the group till the 23rd of June. So they've paused it for 31 hours. I hope they've got some good news coming to them. I really do. But yeah, it doesn't look promising, but you know, we've always got to keep hope. Is all they've got really at the moment, isn't it? Is hope. Now, where was I then? I was on Sky News Winter. So she said there isn't an update for anyone, unfortunately. We're struggling to find words at this time, but all I can say is we're looking still and everyone is doing all they can. We're drained beyond words. I just can't say any more. I wish I could. I wish this would end now, this living nightmare. Searches are ongoing and we remain positive. Thanks to you all supporting and helping. We can't thank you. We can't thank you anymore. Much love. So it sounds like they've, you know, what's the word? Stalled the Facebook page because of the weird and wonderful things that people have been saying. You know, the haters are always going to hate, aren't they? Whatever circumstances, even in circumstances like this where there is a family, and particularly a mother, you know, worrying what's happened to her son. And, you know, people have still got to say horrible things. What's wrong with them? Anyway, we get a little idea of the terrain, of course, looking at this picture. But we're going to go on a virtual walk. God, I didn't even really enjoy the virtual walks, I've got to say. But people, you know, people like hiking. They like going on these dangerous terrains. I don't know. People like it. Some people like it. It's not for me, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'd rather walk through the woods. What's wrong with walking through the woods? Why do they have to go walking through mountainous terrain, for God's sake? Anyway, where am I going now? So I'm going to the Manchester Evening News now. So those of you from the UK and especially from Manchester, this is like the local paper, if you like, but it's a big paper because Manchester's a big place. So the J. Slater search teams are navigating dangerous Tenerife mountains, but still have hope they will find him alive. Just making sure that's sharing. It should be sharing. Yeah, it's coming up now. Yeah. So again, this gives you an idea. I mean, it's a lot. There is a road going all the way through it. And you would think that he would just stick to the road and then at some point somebody would have driven past him or seen him or, you know, but why has he come off the track for some reason? Has he thought he can cut across, you know, not realizing what he was cutting across? You know, you might think, oh, I'm not going all the way up and round all those curves on that road. I'm just going to cut straight across. Because from one part of the road, because it sort of snakes round, he may have been able to see the other part of the road. And he may have thought, oh, instead of walking all the way around there, I'm just going to cut straight across here. That's a possibility, isn't it? Anyway, so specialist teams looking for missing teenager Jay Slater in the dangerous Tenerife mountains say they still have hope he will be found. At the search base, civil defence teams revealed that so far they have found nothing, as they detailed on which areas are being searched in a fresh update. And then it talks about him going missing. He's not been seen or heard from since Monday morning. He had stayed in an Airbnb rental with two men he met after partying at the Energy Festival on Sunday night. Jay, who is understood to have then left the holiday cottage on Monday morning on foot and alone, and called his friend Lucy to say his phone was on 1% battery. So it's this last mobile phone data that they'll be concentrating on, won't they? You know, they'll have started their search there and be working out from there. And it pinged in a remote mountainous area around half a mile further north from the small village of Masca. As the fifth day of the search continued, which has already seen civil guard officers, mountain rescue teams, police drones and helicopters, even though Lucy said she hadn't seen a helicopter. It's an absolute load of rubbish. There was loads of, well, there was probably one helicopter, but the helicopter had been circulating all day. Civil defence officers at the search base told the Manchester Evening News the vast area is split up into 3 different ravines and is around 30 kilometres wide. One member of the team revealed they are currently carrying out searches in 3 different areas: the Masca Gorge, La Vica and Las Portellas, as well as the surrounding Masca area. Aside from one windy and challenging main road through Masca, there are very little footpaths with miles of challenging terrain. A member of the specialist search teams confirmed drones and police dogs had not been deployed on Friday. So that's today. So they haven't deployed drones and police dogs today. They're, for whatever reason, who knows why, therefore making the already challenging search even more difficult. And a member of the civil defence search team said, "We still have hope that he's alive up to the last moment when the last hope is lost. The truth is that we feel a bit frustrated because we can't find him. It's so big here that it's very difficult to search such a steep area, but we're doing everything we can. We haven't found anything. We've combed this entire trail. We've been up and down, but until now, nothing. This morning we have concentrated on searching from down below, up Masca, along the path, until it almost reaches the ravine at the high part without finding anything." So these are the civil. Oh, they do look fed up, don't they? So this is the protection civil or whatever. You know, there's another. They're not the police, but they're like, you know, they go out and help in searches and things like that. Now the second part has been this path that goes up and almost reaches Las Portellas. Now I've never been to Tenerife, ever. I've been to Lanzarote, which is in the Canaries, I think. That's very volcanic, Lanzarote. It's all black terrain, etc. Anyway, it's a lovely place, but it's not like, it doesn't look like this looks. But I've never been to Tenerife, so I don't know. But people that have been to Tenerife, they'll know probably. You know, it's not a big island, Tenerife. So probably if you've been to Tenerife, you will know about this park. You know, unless you're just going for the nightlife down the other end of Tenerife in Los Americanos, etc., where all the sort of bars and discotheques and things are. It's a big, what's the word? It's something that sightseers go to see. It is very beautiful. I can see that it's beautiful, but, you know, it wouldn't interest me to go and see it. I've got to say, I don't like things like, I certainly wouldn't go on a walk that was dangerous. Wait till I read you out about the walks. These are the guided tours, how dangerous they are. You know, why would anyone go for pleasure to a place that was dangerous? Anyway, we're waiting this afternoon for the drone units to come one more time to do a flight over the area, and the search dogs again too. Oh, so they were waiting for them to come back. Now, don't forget, it's light. You know, the days are very long at the moment, so it's probably daylight until 10 o'clock in the evening. So they've got a long day, you know, they've got a long day to look for him, and they'll probably do quite a lot now about this time after 6. Because it's cooler, you know, probably in the heat of the day, it would be, you know, in the afternoon, like after 2, it'd be too hot to have the dogs out. So I would imagine maybe the dogs are out now as it's cooled down a bit. Yesterday, there were 25 volunteers, 5 dogs between them, 4 drones from volunteers too, besides the professional ones. We are concentrating our search in 3 ravines over an area of at least 30 square kilometers. God, ravines, just that word, isn't it? It's like, ravines. Okay, let me put a couple of windows down and just move on to the next. As I say, I'm going to show these articles. I've got a video to watch from GB News where Lucy was being interviewed. And then we're going to go on these virtual tours of the area, virtual walks. And you'll see, you know, how difficult it is. You know, they're up against a difficult search, aren't they? Okay, this is a Spanish article that I want to read to you. Obviously, I'm not going to read it in Spanish. I'm going to translate it as I go down. But I just, you know, wanted to get an idea of what they're saying. So this was the most recent Spanish article I could find. So the Guardia Civil continues to look for Jay Slater, a young British guy of 19 years old who disappeared on Monday. Jay travelled to the island in Tenerife. Jay travelled to the island with 2 friends to go to the New Rave Generation Festival, which took place for the weekend of 14th to 16th of June. And it's quite sad, isn't it, that I think this is the first time that Jay had been abroad without his family. Anyway, everything happened. Everything was normal until the night of Sunday, the 16th of June. He decided to separate from his friends and continue the party in an apartment of another group. Now, it says here a group of young people, but of course there weren't. It was 2 men, wasn't it? 2 grown men. You know, so it wasn't a group of young people. Anyway, it says here it was, but I don't believe it was. That he had met during the festival. A neighbour has revealed information about the 2 men with whom Jay was before he disappeared. So the 19-year-old desvaneció. Oh, he vanished in the morning after going off with 2 British men while he was with friends on the island where he had been on holiday for a festival. They're just repeating themselves now. So it seems that he was attempting to return on foot to the south of the island when he called his friend Lucy May Law on Monday in the morning, saying that his battery was only 1%. Since then, the police have looked or have been searching in the rural mountainous zone in the northeast of the island, near to the village of Masca, where he was seen for the last time. Now, some new information has come out about the 2 men with whom he was with, and also photos of the rental house, Casa Abuelatina, which, as I said to you in the earlier video, is Grandma Tina's house. That's where it means, where he supposedly was. And then it's telling us about this woman who works in the business, the Araceli. I think this is the same woman that we were seeing in the other article. She works in the business near to the rental property, and she said I didn't see the disappeared boy, but I know that people saw him walking alone. Oh no, this is somebody else. I saw the two British men that were staying there. They came to take a coffee with milk a couple of times. One was about 40 years old. The other was a little bit younger. She added, the police have spoken to both of them. They arrived on Saturday and they were going to stay till Monday, but in the end they went on Tuesday. So it seems like these two men, they have, some people say, no, they're disappeared, no, the police haven't spoken to him. The police have spoken to him and they went home a day later than was originally planned. There's Jay. Anyway, his friend Lucy May raised the alarm after receiving a call from Jay, who's a bricklaying apprentice of Oswestwhistle, Lancashire, around about 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday, saying that he was on his way home to his apartment on the south of the island, that he was thirsty and that he only had 1% of battery. And then Jay's telephone turned off a little bit later, and his last location was traced as the Zona de Rural de Teno, a mountainous part of the island. His parents and his brother have flown there to be with him to help with the search. And this is when I mentioned again Lucy. Lucy said she was not satisfied with the search of the Guardia Civil. I hope she hasn't said that to the Guardia Civil, because they just would not be happy about that at all. You need to keep them on your side, saying we need the British police. Well, and especially when we see the terrain up more closely, what does she think the British police are going to do there? Anyway, she told the Mirror, we need the British police here. I just want to find my friend. He's missing 3 days. So this was a couple of days ago. Doesn't look right. We feel that it's up to us to find him, and we're doing more than the police. So that definitely will not. I hope they've stopped her talking to the police. Well, luckily the police themselves, hopefully they wouldn't have understood what she said, because I doubt very much if she speaks Spanish. Jay and his friends met these two men in the rave on Sunday, and later they went to their house on the other side of the island. The 19-year-old woke up the next day in the Parque Rural de Teno, 10 hours on foot from his lodgings in Los Cristianos. After leaving I can't think of the English word. After leaving the property, he called his friend, to say that his phone was on the point of dying and he was in the middle of nowhere. So the park in the northeast of the island is still the last known location of Jay. Nothing is known about him after that. So his loved ones say that they are beyond words while the search goes into its 5th day. The two mysterious men with which Jay was have not broken their silence. I thought they'd spoken to the police. Joe, they talk about these mainstream media things. They talk about social media making things up. Then 1 minute they said that these men had spoken to the police, and then they're saying that they haven't, and that they've left the island to go back to the UK. And they're saying it's not clear if they spoke to the police in Tenerife before leaving the island. Well, from my understanding of what I've read of the British media, they did. So strange images have emerged from the Airbnb that they took Jay to. His last image on Snapchat was a what's the word? blurry photo of a hand holding a cigarette in the Buena Vista del Norte, which is inside the park. Lucy revealed that she had traced the house where Jay was staying, and they told her that he had left on the Monday morning. The two men said that Jay left to buy cigarettes before returning to his lodgings. And he said that he wanted to go, before returning to their property. And then he said he wanted to go home. So this is the place, of course. So Lucy's now, in this article, they're saying that Lucy said she found the house and went to the house. So we'll see. I don't know if she did or not. Lucy said, "We managed to find the house. I called at the door and there were two people there. They told me that Jay had spoken with the neighbours, the next door neighbours, and they had said that he had that there was a bus every 10 minutes going to Los Cristianos." That seems very often to me, every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes. I doubt very much there'll be a bus every 10 minutes. Well, maybe because it's a tourist place. People go to visit the park and then go back to Los Cristianos. Maybe, I don't know. So the bus stop was just at the side of the house. So obviously, if he would have taken the bus, he would not have got lost, because the bus stop was visible from the main door, from the entrance door. So according to the locals, Jay was seen walking alone before his disappearance. Araceli, who works in a business, this is what we looked at before, Araceli, who works in a business next to the rental property where supposedly he was before he disappeared, told the Mirror, "I never saw the disappeared boy, but I know that people did see him walking alone. I saw the two British men that stayed there. They came to have a coffee every now and again, a couple of times. One was about 40, the other was a little younger. They arrived on Saturday and they were supposed to stay till Monday, but they went on Tuesday." Lucy has asked that the two men should be interrogated by the police. She described his disappearance as suspicious, and she added, "There's something strange about all this." Debbie Duncan, Jay's mum, gave out this week a desperate emotional appeal for the safe return of her son. She fears that the young man has been kidnapped and has flown. She has flown to the island while the search continues. Breaking out in tears, she told ITN, "It's a living nightmare. It's like a dream, as if it wasn't happening. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I only want my baby back. Please, anyone who can help, look for him. There's an enormous area, enormous. He's somewhere, or someone knows where he is. We just need to find my baby." Just must be heartbreaking. I think not knowing is just awful, isn't it? It's like the worst thing of all somehow, because she'll be thinking, where is he? And he's out there, and is he okay? And is he suffering? And anyway, never mind. So now we're going to just watch.
Going away on their first holiday.
He's just coming up to.
I'm going to watch a video from GB News. Not that GB News is my favourite news channel, but it's interesting because they are talking about this, obviously. Let's see what they've got.
11 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is Britain's Newsroom with me, Nana Aquia, and Ben Leo.
Good morning to you. Now, the search for missing teenager Jay Slater has entered its 5th day in Tenerife after he was last heard from on Monday morning.
Now, a friend of his has hit out at Spanish police, claiming that they're not doing enough and that they want British police to get involved.
The 19-year-old called a friend to say he was lost with no water and his mobile phone was on just 1% battery. So joining us now from Spain is journalist Gerard Cousins. Good morning, Gerard. Thank you for joining us. What's the latest as we enter is it the 5th or the 4th day now? And also, how significant is this new video that's doing the rounds this morning of the young teenager in a nightclub on Tenerife?
Morning, Ben. Well, the search, the alarm was raised on Monday morning and the search started on Monday afternoon. I've just got off the phone to police in Tenerife. They say the search has resumed, and the same units that were involved, that have been involved all this week, which include scent dogs, police with scent dogs, police helicopter, mountain rescue experts, they're all up in that same area, combing that same area for clues as to where Jay may be. Obviously that last video, it shows a young lad enjoying himself on his holiday. There's nothing in that video, I would say, that would lead one to feel any unease about his state of mind. Shows a young lad partying.
So what is it, Gerard, about the terrain that makes it so difficult for them to find somebody? Because obviously when he made the call and sent a picture, I think it was from his mobile phone, we were able to pinpoint where he was. So what is it about where he was that was so difficult to track?
Well, we're talking about a gorge, mountains, lots of places where he could have fallen, and obviously we don't know if he's moved from that last spot. He had 1% battery. He could have moved on from there. It's not just the terrain; it's the fact that he was.
It looks almost impossible, doesn't it, really, to search, because you just, how can you, if he's sort of gone, tried to maybe seek cover somewhere, because either he was cold, because at night time it'd be freezing cold, in the daytime it'd be boiling hot. So, I honestly, it just looks so difficult when you look at what they're up against. It's such a difficult search.
He was not dressed adequately for the sort of temperatures. The temperatures drop in that area at night time. He admitted to having no water and to being completely lost. So it's a mixture of the terrain, but also the fact that he was a stranger in a strange land. That he didn't know.
Yeah, and Gerard, I understand it was his first holiday abroad with 2 friends. He went to that music festival, the Energy Festival. Parents from across Britain can imagine what that's like. Your young child going away on their first holiday and tragically ending up missing like this. I mean, talking of the parents, his mother, Debbie, this morning has told newspapers that she fears perhaps he may have come to harm. He may have even been kidnapped. How would that suggestion go down with the authorities over there and the media? How's this story being covered in Spain?
Well, the police have said from day one they were keeping an open mind. They're not ruling anything out. The focus looks to be on the mountain search, the visible mountain search. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of work going on. People have been spoken to. We know of at least one witness that we've spoken to who saw Jay walking away from the village 10 or 15 minutes after he'd asked her for bus timetables. She was surprised because he was walking in the opposite direction to the one he should have been heading in if he wanted to return home south. There are some things that don't add up. But as I say, police are keeping an open mind, and police investigators, aside from the police that very visibly are carrying out that mountain search, are doing a lot of behind the scenes work that they are not sharing the results of with the media. They're playing things very close to their chest.
Yeah, that's something you've got to remember about the Spanish police as well. They keep everything close to their chest. For those of you who are regulars on my YouTube channel, when we were following Anna Knezevich's case, who went missing from Madrid, it was just silence, wasn't it? They made it a secret case. It was so secret that when I phoned up the courts, the gender violence courts, to see if the case was being held there, was being conducted there, they couldn't even say yes or no. It was so secret. It was like they couldn't even say yes, it is being held here, or no, it's not being held here. Not even a yes or a no, never mind details of anything. That's how it is in Spain. So the police, you can bet 100% they'll be investigating everything. They will definitely have spoke to those men before they went back to the UK. They'll have a lot more information than we even know about. And, but part of their inquiry, of course, is the search. But they'll be, and he's what this guy says is true. That's what the Guardia Civil said right from the beginning. Everything is on the table. They don't discount anything.
All right, well, Gerard, thank you very much. That's Gerard Cousins joining us live from Spain.
Yeah, so many unanswered questions. His friends saying this morning, why didn't he just get the bus? The bus stop was right outside the Airbnb he was waiting for. Did he miss the bus? Why did he leave his friends to go off with these two lads?
Well, Gerard just said that he asked, and then went in an opposite direction to where he should be going.
Yeah.
So it's all very odd.
Very strange. Well, look, joining us now from Jay's hometown in Lancashire, Oswald Twistle, is our Northwest reporter, Sophie Reaper. Good morning, Sophie. What's the mood like down there?
Very good morning to you both. Well, the mood here in Oswald Twistle this morning is an incredibly sombre one. Of course, we're now on day 5 since Jay was last heard from.
No, it's quite odd, isn't it? Because those who've been with me while we've covered Nicola Bulley case, because of course it's the area, we're seeing all the same reporters that we saw during the Nicola Bulley case, etc. Look at the size of that mic she's got. Sophie Reaper, we've seen her before on a few interviews.
That morning, Monday morning, he received a phone call, to his friend Lucy, who's told the media that he said he'd missed a bus and that he was instead going to attempt to walk back to their accommodation, which we now know would have taken him around 11 hours on foot. She also said he'd said to her he was lost in the mountains, he wasn't aware of his surroundings, he desperately needed a drink, and his phone was on 1%. We also know that his mother, Debbie, flew out on Tuesday morning. She said yesterday it's been an absolute living nightmare and that she just wants her baby back. Now, here in Oswald Twistle, that is a sentiment that's shared. Yesterday evening, family and friends of Jay, as well as members of the local community, gathered here at the Methodist Church. I spoke earlier to the Reverend who led the service that took place. This is what he had to tell me.
Started about 7:30 and people came in. The church was full, as you said, and people were just quite sombre, to be fair. They're worried, and you could tell in the feel of the church. They were quite worried about what's going on, and the fact it's been a number of days now and we haven't heard or seen found Jay. We just started with talking about what faith is about, and about there being hope and a light in the darkness, and the message is keeping on that little bit of light that can't be put out. For us, that's Jesus, but for us today is that light of hope that Jay will be found and he'll be okay.
We heard Matt talking there about hope and a light at the end of the tunnel, and a real symbol for the people of Oswald Twistle has become this blue ribbon that you can see here behind me. There are dozens of them all over this town here in Lancashire that people, members of the local community, put out yesterday evening to say that they still have hope, that even after the 5 days that have passed, they still have hope that Jay Slater will be returning to his home.
Let's hope that is the case. Sophie Reaper, thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. Right, we'll stay with us. Still to come to the case. Starmer has said that Jeremy Corbyn would have been a better Prime Minister.
Okay, time to come off now. They're going to start talking about politics. So, so this is where we are with all this. So what I want to look at now is, so that then I thought, gosh, I wonder if I can find some virtual tours of the island, because we were looking at like this morning, the video that I did this morning, there's like a live webcam, you know, just directed at this park, but you know, it doesn't go around the island or whatever, the park. So this is what I found a couple of virtual walking tours of this area, so just to give us even more of an idea of what the police are up against. But also, did Jay, you know, it makes you wonder, did he decide to come off the road and cut across and think he could be quicker? Anyway, let's have a look at these. There's 3 of them that we're going to look at. Give us a better idea of the terrain. So they're on YouTube. So it doesn't say what. I think I am subscribed to this. So we can see there's a road. There are oh look, the sea's right down at the bottom there. There's a road, there are cafeterias and things. I think when Jay first started off, he must have started off you know, just following the road, wasn't he? Was he waiting? Why did he not wait for the bus? Oh God, you just think, why didn't you wait for the bus, Jay? Anyway, he started off walking down the road, but has he at some point come off the road because he thought it would be quicker? This is my worry, that he may have done that, and then maybe he's tripped and fell. It's a very difficult terrain, so we'll see. Just making sure this is coming up. You can see this, can't you? Yeah. Now turn the volume down on it, because I don't know if that music will be copyright music or not. So I've turned the volume down so don't get into trouble. Oh, can't see it, can we? Oh, hang on. Let's try. Hang on. Why can't we see anything? Hang on. What am I doing here? Sorry. Right. Everything's gone a bit weird. Hang on. Let me just. Right. Can you see now? Yeah, sorry about that. I had two, because I'm doing a live later anyway, never mind. I had two up at the same time. Let's start again. There you go. I put some of my music on, I think. So we can see it looks beautiful, but, you know, now at least this one is on a path. You know, this walk they're going on is on a path. But in a moment, I'm going to show you another one where they walk actually into the mountains, etc. In fact, I think we'll go to that one now. So this next one that we're looking at, this is going right into the ravine, into the gorge. And so you get an idea of what the police are coping with, trying to search for Jay. You know, sorry, but why do people do that for pleasure? Why do you want to walk through all those rocky? I mean, as much as I like walking, I really do like walking through woods and things like that. But all this rocky, dangerous terrain, I just do not understand why anyone would do that for pleasure. I honestly don't. Maybe somebody can tell me what the appeal is.
We are passing today 1,040 meters over the sea level. We will have a beautiful view over here. Just in front of us, we can see the two hills of the neighbor.
So this is that road, you know, that runs along there. You know, it just makes you wonder, was he on the road and then he saw the road over the other side and thought he would cut through the ravine? God, I hope not.
Right, and La Palma, and to our left-hand side, you can see La Gomera. A bit further down, that's the village of Masca. That's where we start our trekking trip. And before we drive down to Masca, we will stop now for a moment here at this viewpoint, so you can take some nice pictures. We're just gonna stop here for 3-4 minutes, so take some pictures, then come back to the bus, and then we have another 10 minutes to drive down. Lo que dice también que la gente que viene con guagua no son gente de cosas.
Noi sprechen hier. Okay, goed till Lisa, take photos and
To be honest, it didn't look like they were enjoying themselves, really, did they? They weren't smiling very much. I look, they're having to hang on to these ropes. You know, this is what's worrying me. Did he think he could cut through somewhere and end up in this dangerous terrain? Okay.
You feel good? And she asked us to stop to let her group go.
Look at that. So you can see these steep drops. You know, honestly, this is just beyond me why anybody would want to go. And for pleasure, I mean, Jay had got lost. Maybe when, you know, I don't know what he did. And if he did, the trouble is, if he thought he was taking a shortcut, not realizing what was in front of him. But to me, honestly, this just looks terrifying. With that, I don't like heights either, Charlie. And those, in fact, I'm getting vertigo. Just watching this, I'm getting vertigo. The thought of actually going there. Look at that! Oh, awful. Horrible, horrible. Sorry. Anyway, I think you're getting the idea. This is what I wanted to show everyone because I feel like for the police, the search parties, etc., they've got to negotiate this. You know, these are the sort of this is the terrain that they're searching for this boy in. It's just terrifying, isn't it? Really. Even if you were an experienced search and rescue person, you know, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the dogs. It's just dangerous, isn't it? I mean, it has got sort of like a bleak beauty about it, but you know, to me, it just doesn't hold any attraction to me at all. And you know, it's not, even when I was young, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I've never liked things. I've always liked walking in the woods. But I don't, not with all these, not down all these, oh, no. Look at that, oh. So you might have been looking for water. Honestly, my heart is in my mouth just watching this woman walking. And she's got her bloody sticks and she's supposedly knows what she's doing. My heart is in my mouth just watching her.
The thing is, the only people which are all the information, they were from the churches or from the conventions.
Anyway, we don't know that, we do not, you know, to make it clear. I'm just trying to show you, you know, the sort of terrain that they're dealing with. We don't know that Jay has ended up anywhere quite as, far into it as that. We don't know that. I just wanted to show you the terrain. And people actually do it for pleasure. I'm just going to fast forward it a bit.
Now it's a bit easier walk.
That little dog. Oh my God, my little Rocky, he would love that. He would love going up them mountains and everything. He loves all that adventure.
No, dove stiano loro.
Now, here you see the elephant rock.
Oh, that's the Elephant Rock. Anyway, right, I've got to go shortly. So the other one is very similar. Maybe will we have time to? No, the other one's not quite as, that one that I've just showed you, that is the most sort of, because that's the actual hikers going right into the gorge. So that's the best one for you seeing the actual terrain that is when you get down into it. Yeah, so that's the sort of terrain they're dealing with. While we were just watching that, I just had a little check to see if there was any news. There's no more news so far. I'm checking, I don't know about you, but I'm checking the news about every 3 minutes. Anyway, I'll be back on later because we're going to look at the Stefan Stearns, his transport in the back of the police car from one prison to another. I don't know if you've probably seen little bits of it here and there. When he was sat in the back of the car whinging about the toilet roll that he had to use for a pillow. Well, we're going to, I've got the whole, the entire film. We're going to look at that. It's very interesting to see Stefan Stearns, his body language, etc., and the things he says. Anyway, that's what we're going to look at later. I'll see you later. And prayers for Jay. If you could put maybe some blue hearts. I can't get them on mine, but if you can. No Chinese today, Charlie. No, I've had my lunch already, but no Chinese today. Yeah, try and put some blue hearts on. I can't do it on my computer. I don't think I'd find blue hearts. I'll have a little look on my other computer. Some blue hearts for Jay, and especially, for his mum, because she must be absolutely worried sick. So let's just hope. Let me see if I can find. Oh, I can't. I don't think I can find blue hearts. I've put pink hearts. I can find my pink hearts. But if any of you can find your blue hearts, we'll have blue hearts for Jay because they're having blue ribbons for him at the vigil that they were having for him, or whatever it was, like a church meeting. Okay, I'll see you later. It's very hot here. Honest to God, I'm practically fainting just sat in front of the computer. So I just hope Jay's okay in some shade somewhere. Okay, thank you. See you soon. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.